Welcome back, everyone, to the BD1P Binding of Isaac modded series. Today is going to be a random normal character run for win number 10, our first double digits number in God knows how long, and episode number, I'm gonna say 319, I believe. Your question for today is going to be, put your answer in the comments down below. Where is the coolest place that you've been? Whether it be a country you visited, a state you went to, something like that. Hey, by the way, our first hollow run of the streak here. Seed, by the way, is going to be 1HWDQ0WB. So I do want to say I have lost my voice a little bit here, if you can't tell. I was recording a bunch of voice lines for a new Lego Star Wars video on the main channel, and my voice kind of just went at one point, and I was like, all right, well, that's gone, so I'm going to try my best to work through it today, but I apologize if my voice sounds weird or very monotonous. Dad's wallet. Pennies have a greatly increased chance to spawn as nothing, nickels, or dimes. We'll fuck with it, sure. What's in the shop, by the way? Ooh, car battery again. Birth certificate? Oh, this is the one that gives you a bunch of trinkets. That's very, very, very worth it for us. There's going to be a bunch of, we can get curved horn, cracked crown, cancer, whatever we want to take out of that room. We get pretty much a free choice of trinket. But I wanted to give another story time episode today. This one, not about, graffiti, but about exploring abandoned houses back where I grew up. Because in Wisconsin, there's nothing to do. I'm just going to get out of this room. You know what? Oh my god, the lag is huge. We're looking for, I think, just honestly, curved horn. I don't really care for trying to micromanage. Ooh, a nice little key. There's curved horn. I don't really care for trying to micromanage, going for, ooh, cracked crown gives you more stats for everything. Not really my vibe, to be honest with you. The extra damage for our flies that deal 2 damage is going to be much more important. But in Wisconsin, there's, jack shit to do. Around where I grew up, you had a choice between, what the hell is that card over there? That's really good for boss fights. What about this thing, though? Glass card. It reflects every item in the room. That's really good. It's essentially double items for that room that we're in. Where I grew up, there were a couple choices. You could go to Walmart as one of your choices. You could drive half an hour to a roller skating rink. This room is completely screwed over, huh? You could go to a really gross movie theater. Oh, is that thing? We can't grab this now, can we? You're joking, dude. We got to get flight for that that range upgrade. I don't think range does anything for us, but it still is the mom transformation. Or you could go for a hike in some park. Those were the only options for entertainment where I grew up. Otherwise, you were making your own sort of entertainment, and that was fine. I'm not a guy who really enjoys doing a lot of stuff. I am very. Whew, that's really good, I think. I am really just a laid-back person. I mean, what I would do when I was growing up was just play video games, go to Buffalo Wild Wings. That was my idea of a good time. I really can't grab this. Oh, we can grab this. Look at that. So I wasn't really mad about the lack of things to do. But at certain points in my life, there were moments where I was man, I wish I lived, somewhere where there were actual activities going on. You can hang out with friends, or just go, to a restaurant and sit down, or go to somewhere close by, right? That was kind of a bit of a letdown in my town. But there was one very interesting thing about Wisconsin, and that's the fact that because it's such a wooded and pretty rural area, besides Milwaukee and Madison, the capital and the big city. Wow, that actually got me there. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, you know what? That sounds pretty good, actually. We'll take that. There was one thing you could do. A lot of the times, if you were just walking around, whether it be my exact town or anywhere in the neighboring 5 cities, you would find a lot of abandoned barns or houses or cabins, because you would have these houses that were really, really old, I would say 1800s. They were just there still. That weren't refurbished or repurposed, that were just kind of empty. And a lot of the times, they were off a back road or somewhere deep in the woods where there was nobody else around to see you go into them. So what kind of became a trend in my high school was going to these places and taking, like, you know, creepy videos, just kind of hanging out and exploring. And I wasn't really one to do that for a while. Like, I didn't have a group of friends that were very, oh my god, you are crazy. What's the word? I don't want to say outgoing, but weren't really interested in doing that kind of stuff. We were very much homebodies. I'll take the virus here, you know what? You know, actually it's pretty good because Dead Onion does pretty much nothing for us. And my group of friends is pretty much like stay at home, play video games, you know, have a LAN party or some nerd thing like that. But that kind of changed throughout high school. As you guys probably know, you get different friends, you find your way into different friend groups, you get like into different circles, and things change. And I still had my core friend group throughout, I would argue, every single year of high school, you know, like Merm and Aldog and TG. But I had like a separate group as well. I had like, I would say I was part of maybe 3 or 4 different groups. One of those being the Merm and Aldog and TG group. The other one being, like my outside of school friends, like, the guy I went to the graffiti with and his girlfriend, and things like that. And then I had another group that was, it wasn't really a friend group, but more just like, oh, I forgot you're gonna be in here. Hanging out with coworkers, and that to me was like always one of my favorite groups to be with because, they were obviously out of school. Like, you know, I think, Eric, my coworker, was like, 28, and then Riley was like 21. And we would go to restaurants like after work sometimes and just like have food or whatever and hang out. But there was one day where Riley was talking to us at work. My chair is going fucking nuts. I didn't mean to pop that card. I was adjusting my chair, dude. Oh, rip the reflected card. That sucks for us. Riley was kind of just like talking to us on our smoke break, and he was like, yeah, I found this really cool house driving to work today along the back roads. It looks to be abandoned, and I kind of want to go explore it. And Eric was like, that sounds like pretty damn fun. Can I come with? And he was like, sure. And then I was like, hey, can I come with? And they were like, sure. So we made plans for that night. Oh, this is going to be really not good for us. We are definitely getting hit here. Like, there was nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere. We made plans for, like, I think that Friday for, oh, we're fucked? No, we're not fucked. Eric and his wife and Riley and myself to go look at this house. And on the way there, we were looking up like other places to go to because there was this weird like Facebook group that like would track abandoned houses and say, hey, are these like, you know, safe to go into? Are there like police around? Things like that. So there was kind of like a community for going into these houses. And Riley looked those up. I would have totally reflected this for more damage, but that sucks for us. Keep going to your boss fights here. And Riley had found, I think it was like, we went to 4 houses that night. The first house was, if I remember correctly, it was right off of like a main road, like you know, a properly numbered road, which was a little bit dangerous because if somebody saw us walking around in there, they can call the cops thinking we're squatters, or they can call the cops thinking we're doing what we actually are doing, which is, you know, trespassing. Oh wow, I'm an idiot, aren't I? I'm a dumb fool. Grab this. I'm gonna go into the devil deal. We have a lot of HP right now. Using Gera here would be a big waste, and this room sucks anyways. I don't care for any of these. Curved Horn is going to be better. Just move on down. What was I saying? The first house we went to, it was a barn and a house. No, there were 2 barns and 1 house. And we decided the best place to start was going into this barn. And obviously, I think the only reason like that they wanted me to come was because I'm a pretty skinny, and like I'm not tiny. Like I'm decently tall, but I'm very, very skinny in my frame. And if there's like a tight, you know, door I gotta fit through, or window, or I gotta go up some like really shaky stairs and like they're too heavy for it, I was kind of the go-to guy for that. And immediately in this barn, we see like nothing on the ground. It was pretty cold. It might have been like 40 degrees out because, again, we're in Wisconsin in like the end of winter. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me right now. But there was like snow on the ground, and there was some hay on the ground, and that was like pretty much it. We get some hearts back. You know, it's probably worth the pop like a bunch, actually. Because dropping us hearts back and maybe even a really good item. Wow. Well, I guess I spoke too soon there, huh? I'm gonna bomb for this as well. Loud playing outside. If you can hear that, I apologize. Yeah, do it. Because there could be a good old magic mush sitting in here. Right? Nah, not here, I guess. I'm not gonna touch the reflected pill either. But, there was like snow on the ground and a bunch of hay and nothing on the first layer. However, this barn was interesting because this barn had a second floor, which, a lot of like, I guess most barns have a second floor, but it wasn't like a loft area. It was like a completely like ceilinged and off, like actual, you could live up there. There's a whole ass floor. Usually barns have like a bit of an overhang for storing like hay bales and shit. This was like a full floor. And the stairs looked really fucking shaky. And Eric wasn't a big guy. Eric might have been like 200 pounds, like 210 pounds, and he was pretty skinny like me. Riley was a little bit bigger, but he was just like, I would say he was a bit more like on the firmer side, the firmer build, you know? So he wasn't going up those stairs. Eric's wife and him were going up those stairs, and it pretty much came down to like, hey, you're the thinnest and lightest guy here. It's up to you to climb these stairs. So I get in, like, we open up the barn door, and I get inside, and my foot goes like directly through the first floorboard. Like the first stair board, the foot sinks directly through it. Not a great start. So I grab the side rail, and I'm kind of like putting my weight on the railing more than the floor. I'd rather have the railing break than the floor break, you know? And I eventually make it all the way up to the very top. And there's really not much to see up there. There is like hay bales, a bunch of like spider webs, like, you know, the classic abandoned cobweb vibe going on. But there really wasn't much up there. I think we might have found like an old painting, but none of us wanted to claim that because like it was ugly as hell, so we left it there. And then it came time to go into the actual house. There were 3 houses we went to, but the first 2 kind of blurred together to me. I think this one, no, you know what? No, I think we only made it to 2 houses and like 2 barns maybe? I have no idea. It was something like that, man. But this house on the inside, no, it was a house and a garage and a barn. Okay, now it's coming back to me in full color. We went into the garage before the house first. You know, go to the smaller like areas, then the bigger areas last. And the garage was kind of the same deal. And these flies hit him, thank you. The garage was kind of the same exact deal. 2 health up and have chance to block contact damage, say no more. Where the only way into the garage from the outside was like a really small window, and I had to open up the door for them from the inside. It was wanted to, you know, break the door down and make a lot of noise. And as we're like heading over because like the barn was across the street from the house and the garage, as we're crossing the street, we see headlights and like dive into this ditch, and the car just kind of like, help, 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 I hate my life. The car just kind of like drives by. And we don't get caught, thank God. It was a little bit scary though, because whenever you like in my past experience, that's really, really good. That's a revive. I mean, I guess having a revive is like really, really nice. So you want to take that and I guess just keep on. You can go to your shop. Just keep on moving down, I think. But with my past experience, like with the cops coming at that graffiti place, I was not going to take any chances. I don't want to have that same situation happen again. Imagine being like my parents and getting 2 distinct separate calls about me going to like abandoned places that are definitely unsafe. That wouldn't really go over well, I think, in anybody's family, to be honest with you. So we were being a little bit extra cautious, but the car passes, we're okay, and we start walking towards the garage, and I squeeze through the window, and I open up the garage door from the inside. And this garage, dude, it's trash. Like, there were definitely squatters living here, because like there was like wrappers and soda cans with current day expiration dates, like around the same week, lying on the ground in there, telling me that there was somebody who was like squatting there. And I'm not gonna like invade, he doesn't own the house, right? I'm not gonna invade that guy's privacy though. Like, if you're squatting there, dude, I'm not gonna fuck with your stuff. We just left the garage like pretty much immediately. There were some cool tools. Like, there was a nice like custom made hammer. There was a couple of like weird looking socket wrenches too, that I kind of wanted to take just for like like a keepsake sort of deal, but you know, like again, I don't really use tools for anything besides like work stuff, and work has all the tools that I'll need. Sure, we'll do this. Does that actually work though? Oh, it does work. You can actually take this and just immediately go up to this, and then Ace of Hearts. Wow, a double Spirit Heart drop and a bunch of spiders. That's actually pretty good for us. But we kind of just walked around. There were some, the weird thing is there were some like really cool, like license plates in this garage. There were some from like Florida, and I used to like mildly collect plates because I thought having a plate from every state would be, you know, a little bit cool. That's a really good buy for us as well. Range is not going to do anything, but it's still pretty okay. I don't think it might do something. I don't have the knowledge of what it may do though. And it's going to be a decently easy boss fight. Yeah, you're already dead, and you are now dead too. Wow, you actually kind of tanked that hit really well. Also, another devil deal giving us, holy shit. I guess the only like worth it thing here is Pentagram. I don't think Brimstone works as his character. It probably does, but I don't really want to waste HP and not get a free damage up right there, or a 3 heart. Oh, we're Leviathan. We could have totally taken Sulfur and lived, or respawned with the Mark of Cain. But moving on down. I kind of wanted, I think I took like 2 license plates. I think I took like a Texas one, and I think I took an Arizona one. And then we progressed into kind of the meat and potatoes of this adventure, which was the very first house. Now, starting off, this house was like creepy as hell. I mean, it was like something out of fucking Deborah Logan. Like the wallpaper was like old. It smelled like musty. We had masks, by the way. We had our asbestos masks because I was prepared, as opposed to our last time I was in an abandoned building. If you want to know about that story, watch the last streak video. What's in here? Ooh. I don't know what that machine does, but Stargazer? Give me Mercurius. Right now. You're drawing a thin line between useful and useless. I have 4 bombs. I could have 3. Remember that, sir. Remember that. Actually, I have 5 bombs now, you piece of shit. But that's how it was like out of like the Deborah Logan horror movie. It was freaky. And the first thing that Riley tells us, like, hey, we should like, to cover the house faster, to avoid like seeing my truck on the side of the road, we should probably split up. Like, and like, you know, go in pairs, just like explore the rest of this house and find like some cool stuff. And I'm like, no, like that's like the number one thing you don't do. And everyone else is kind of like, yeah, let's not split up. 'Cause imagine if one of us like gets hurt and we only have like one other person around us. Oh, I hate this silver bar thing. That would be very good, I think. I could Yara. I'm gonna save the Yara for a while, and I think I know like exactly where we're gonna have our room. It could be next to our item room and shop, or it could be directly above it. It tends to favor trap rooms. Look at that, tends to favor trap rooms. Give me a bunch of like red chests in here. It's Angry Fly. Here's the good thing. We have a rune we can use on this. Where did my red rune go? I mean, we have a good bomb economy at least, but I'd rather have like actual useful stuff. Okay, red rune that. Ooh, a little bit of extra cash for us. Never hurt nobody. Go get your Yara from this room. And then it's Stargazer time. I'm gonna spend all my money on you. I feel like this might roll our entire run. It reminds me of a D100 in there. That's really nice. I can use that on this floor, actually. Come on, 3rd time. You piece of shit. Let's use this right here. Maybe get like the quarter down here for extra cash for our Stargazer. That'd be ideal. We get 1/3 bookworm and a little bit of extra cash for it. So it isn't, I'm gonna take this, I think. Because we already can fly, the meteors don't really do a lot for us. I'm just gonna take this, and we will do this. Come on, 4th time's the charm. The classic saying. God. I mean, we get an Ansus. Is there anything cool on this floor? We know where our secret rooms are, which could be pretty influential to making this guy pay out, so we'll try this out. Good. Oh, That's actually, I'm going to take that. I'm going to definitely take that for more crawl spaces going forward. And this could be hella cash for us. This could be what I was waiting for the entire time. How do you break TNT barrels? There you go, as this character. I answered my own question there. And then what about you, Monsieur? Huh? Anything cool? That might have been one of the worst stone chests that I've ever had the pleasure of seeing. Draw me some stuff, Mario. Wow, a nickel, huh? That was pretty damn good. I'm not gonna knock that at all. Please. I'll bomb this too right now. Well, we're not getting a payout from our man over here, I don't think. Which is sad. Is there anything worth it in this room? Okay. Just take it. You know what? Go fight the room. It's going to be a whole damage up for you. That's pretty good. It could be money for the Stargazer as well. But going back to our story here, we decided to stay in one group. And the first place we want to explore is, obviously, the basement. So, because if you're not, like, from the north, every house has a basement in case of, like, tornadoes and shit like that. Whereas I found that in the south, like, almost, ooh, that's, I'm going to actually, I'm going to Yera right now. I'm going to take this pair throw into here.
Pair throw.
I don't care for that. Do it again. I thought it was going to be wavy cap, and I was so mad for a minute. Genie lamp. Sure. Like, it's not that good. It's not that bad. And I think you're going to take the algaes. And you're going to move on to your mom fight here. Are we going to Beast? This run is not ready for Beast. We're going to do Beast with the BD1P Beast mod soon, I promise. But I want to go there with a bang. Not like go down there with like 7 damage and only flies to attack. I want to make sure that run is going to be like very celebratory of the BD1P is Beast mod, all right? So we're gonna put that off for a minute here. We'll go Polaroid. And in here, yeah, I don't really care for, I would argue, any of this, and keep on going down. Now, in this house, in the basement, there was a washing machine, a dryer, some expired Tide Pods, and it was a little bit flooded as well. We'll just go regular. It was a tiny bit flooded as well, which you kind of expect out of an abandoned house to not have like much upkeep going on for it. So I'm looking for a floor decal. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted. There we go. Perfect. The basement was kind of like there was nothing interesting going on down there, which again is fine. Macro key. I don't really care about that right now. Not good as this character. But the interesting thing comes when we go to the upper floor of this house, where we find a couple of bedrooms, you know, again, as you would expect in a situation like it's a fucking house after all. Oh. I want, like, everything in here. Start with this. Does Mom's knife work? Mom's knife does not work. Dark matter is damaged, but we kind of are in a point where we have to pop the algaes rune to even just leave here at all. So I'm gonna not do that. We'll pop this. And we'll pay you out. Hopefully for some HP back. We have a respawn. I'm not too concerned. I don't know what HP value it respawns you at. We can maybe get like a lunch or a breakfast out of this man if we're super lucky. But we get to a couple of rooms and they have like, they're fully furnished. There's a bed, there's chairs, there's like, dude, seriously, 7 keys and a stone chest for dirty penny. Hope it bombs you. Ah, shit. I'm not gonna even think about that one. So it's like, it looks like this place is like, it could be actively being lived in if you don't count the basement. And I guess like the opening hallway. Because there were more like evidence of squatters like coming and going from this place, right? Oh, I gotta be careful here. Now we're fine. So we take a minute and like look at the upstairs and we're kind of like, you know what? This is nice. I think that I think Riley might have taken like a picture, like a painting from one of the places. And then we get to the coolest part of the house, where we finally said we're going to explore like the living room and the kitchen. And this is where I think like the second coolest thing I've ever found in and that's really good. Take this, by the way. In any abandoned place. You didn't take my card? Strange. In any abandoned place ever has been. We find a box full of vinyl records. And not just like, you know, the shit that your grandma has, like German Christmas carols and like random, like non-important artists, I guess. I don't want to say not important, but you know what I mean. Like, nobody noteworthy in your mind. This is like Fleetwood Mac, Black Sabbath, Kiss. Like, there were actual fucking records here. And it wasn't just like it was oddball. This was like Fleetwood Mac's like dreams and shit. There was like real, tangible. That didn't spawn. That was so strange. Things on in this box. And it was like, how is nobody, like squatter or not squatter, like tried to take these and keep them or like sell them for money? It's like the perfect opportunity, because those might have been, I mean, they might have been like damaged, but they probably had like a decent, you know, sound to them, and they could have gone for, you know, like $20 maybe, depending on the edition and the print of them. So it was just like we had finally struck gold in our first house. I didn't end up taking home any. I might have taken home one of the records, actually. I know Eric wanted to keep Fleetwood Mac. I might have taken home, like, Black Sabbath. I think it was, like, a live album, too, which I love live albums so much. So I was pretty happy to have that. I don't have it anymore. I might have left it back at my parents' place when I moved out. So I'm not quite sure where it is, to be honest with you. But it was still, like, really, really, really cool to see. And, we would have been satisfied, like, just stopping there and going home for the night, but we were on a hot streak. Why stop? So we find another barn, about like 10 minutes out, and we go in to explore it. And this was kind of like just one of like it was almost a random stop, right? We didn't really have any plans to like see anything cool here. Just again, a completely random stop. We walk into the barn. And me and Eric are just kind of like, I think Eric's like either high or drunk, something like that. And we're having just a good time, just kind of like bantering. And Riley walks in and he goes, "Holy shit, you guys gotta see this." And my first thought is like, dead body. But no, it was not a dead body. Inside of this barn, and I have videos to show you, was a fully functioning carnival equipment storage place.
Dude.
Oh my god.
There's stuffed animals back here.
Dude, what's in the box right there? I'm taking a duck just for everything.
Holy shit.
Roger O. Bird. Expired.
Holy shit.
Look at the top. So high.
There was like, you know, the hammer game. There was like the rubber duckies and the ring toss games. This was a fully functional, essentially mini carnival just stored inside of this barn, which was insane. Because if you would have asked me, what do you want to find inside of an abandoned house? The last thing I would have said is like a fully functioning carnival. And there it was, like right in front of my eyes. Like there were full machines. There was like maintenance equipment. There was so much stuff everywhere. And obviously it's too big to take home with you because like it's a full ass, like again, carnival equipment. Those things are like huge. I mean, it's the full stand and everything. But it gets like even cooler for me personally. Ooh, strawberry milk. Hell yeah, brother. It gets even cooler for me personally. Where am I on the map? Am I up? I think I'm up. I'm up. Okay, cool. Because directly in this barn was like a multi-room barn. It might have just been like a really big fucking house or big shed, but it was painted to be a barn and it had multiple rooms. In kind of like the tool room with like the saws and stuff like that, there was a collection of license plates with like custom like writing on them, like, you know, like one of them said like Hola. One of them, what did one of them say? It was a really funny like Florida thing. It might have been like, it wasn't giddy up. What did it, it was something stupid, but also really kind of cool to see. Why did I should just bomb down for less room. So also bomb these mushrooms. And it was just like what I had wanted to collect from the last place, but there were squatters there. There were like a bunch of random like niche and cool unique license plates. That's a mimic door right there, by the way. We're gonna bomb that and hopefully get some more goddamn HP in this bitch. We are struggling for HP. And oh, you know why? Shoot, we got fucked up. Strawberry milk has completely fucked like our entire build. I guess not really. It's a very slow decay, but if we're holding down the fire button, we lose a lot of damage. The goal is to shoot a bunch out, then wait, so your flies do max damage. Also, get out of here. Give me 300 HP. It's not anything. Take 2 multi-tools, and I keep the I'm drowsy for the boss fight. But there were different like niche license plates. There was a whole ass carnival inside of this bitch. And on top of getting the records that we got, I mean, this was like the hottest streak I've ever seen. Because you go into these houses that are like advertised on these Facebook groups and shit like that. If they're already explored, you don't tend to find much in these places. Like, you're expecting, wow. I should have just shot that fire. What was I thinking? You're expecting to like, just find other people's scraps in these places, I guess, is the proper thing to say there. And we aren't. We're finding like tangible, cool objects. Multi-tool is the worst thing ever. Okay, there's HP. It actually gave us quite a lot of HP. Use the drowsy on the boss and take the Ansus to your next floor. Either way, it was really, really cool. And we decided to go to one more place before turning in for the night. And this place was really off the beaten path. Like, this place was like, we had to go on like 3 different fully dirt roads to get to where this house was. And it ended up being kind of close to where I lived, funnily enough, but just kind of like tucked away in a place you would never look. If that makes much sense to any of you who don't live in like big ass urban cities, I guess. Just go fight the boss and get a bunch of, look how much damage you do though when you have a fully charged strawberry milk thing going on. Get a full charge on this, let it go, get some more flies out there. If you just tap, actually you just get like a bunch of flies that are gonna do major damage. And we didn't really do much that hit me, by the way, in this place, because like, I don't know, it smelled weird and it was really, really trashy. Like, there was like nothing. There was a piano, there was a couch, and I didn't want to go upstairs because we saw a big ass spider as well. And like, and it was getting really fucking cold because it was dropping to like, you know, 11 p.m. and it was winter. So it was like 20 degrees outside. So me and Eric's wife just kind of like sat in the car while those 2 hooligans explored upstairs and found some like, they found like a couple of cool things, but nothing worth like taking home with you. Pop this, by the way. Ravenbeak is not worth it. That might be super, super worth it. You're a floor decal. What the fuck is this? Savage chains. Shackles the player. How much does it rise by? It rises by nothing. Interesting. It didn't really do much for us. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Take a Nimasola, excuse me, and keep on going. But the night's kind of like winding down. We've had our fun. We found some really cool stuff. And we wanted to go just like out to eat because we had not eaten. Like, we had gone to Riley's around like 7 p.m. and there wasn't a lot of time. Ooh, that's really good. There's a double soul for us. There wasn't like much more to do, so we went to this weird like burger place that I really liked. It was like a out of the way, like kind of rundown bar, but they had some pretty good food. And then we went back to Riley's place and I drove home, and that was kind of the whole deal. I was exhausted. I was like really, really, really tired because, again, like, we had been out there all night just kind of walking around and climbing through shit. Just pop that now, I guess. Not really a big deal. But I had a good time. Like, I genuinely had a really, really, really good time just running around and looking at random shit like that. And would I do it again? in tangent with like yesterday's story as well. Yeah, I think like have fun. You know, like, going into an abandoned house, the only person who's liable to hurt is yourself. You're not gonna like ruin anybody's day unless like someone's like still living there. Obviously, you're not gonna ruin somebody's day by exploring their old house. I mean, if it's just like they're just collecting dust, like where's the harm? That's my kind of thought process there. Now, be safe. Wear a mask when you go into places like those. There could be asbestos. There could be like chemicals. And always like when you walk into a house as well that's abandoned, don't just walk in. Like make sure you like knock to see if anybody's like squatting there. Be like, hey, like is anybody in here? We're just coming around like enjoying the night. Because if somebody is in there and you just kind of walk in, you could like hurt each other if you're, you know, like crazy as fuck. So you be responsible, be cautious about it. But again, like have fun. I would recommend if you're in the Midwest and you have nothing to do, go to one of those Facebook groups. Like I'm gonna go buy the extra soul, by the way. Also, what a really fast run. The timer says 24 minutes. My recording says 35. I don't know where that like, where is the guy, by the way? Is he right here? I don't know where that huge like difference came. In terms of time, but I'm not gonna be upset about it. Let's just go fuck up this boss. Do this. Tap your flies out. That was a really, really long Anima Sole. Hold on. You're gonna lose some damage. It's gonna come back though. Wait for it. Beautiful. And you're gonna win the run. Probably no damage taken here. Oh, it did the wrong enemy. Okay, yeah, very good. No Void Portal. Not the run for Void. Ended off. If you enjoyed my story, my commentary, my run, whatever you enjoyed about it, a like and a comment goes a long way for a small channel like mine. In the meantime, I have been BD1P. Peace out and goodbye.